I have to share one of the craziest stories that happened to me in Ecuador. And I hope this doesn't scare anyone, but this was definitely an experience that helped me learn that as missionary, you truly are protected and guided by guardian angels. As many of us know as members of the church, we have that promise, especially as representatives of Jesus Christ. We have angels round about us that are there to back up our testimony and also protect us. If that's a physical protection or spiritual protection, I can testify that it's there. So one day I was returning home with my mission companion and two sister missionaries from missionary training that was in the city of Quito. We were returning to our area called Ibarra, and it's about a 3-hour bus ride. And the meeting got out, and we were heading home on a bus, which was the primary mode of transportation in my mission in Ecuador. We didn't have cars or anything like that. And as we were coming home on this bus ride, I was talking with my companion, and I remember looking ahead in between the seats that were in front of us, and I saw a guy that was standing up talking to the passengers in front of us, and between the seats I saw that there was a pistol he was holding. And I was really confused. I didn't understand why he had a pistol. I didn't know if it was fake. I didn't know what was going on. Never been in a robbery before, so I was completely shocked. And as I turned to my companion to ask if he saw what I saw, the next thing I knew, the guy with the gun was at our row, at our aisle, and the next thing I know, he started asking us where we were holding all of our money, what we had to give him, and he basically just started robbing us. And that was an intimidating experience, definitely. I am grateful that my companion was in the aisle seat and I was closer to the window, but it was still extremely intimidating. And I can still remember vividly looking up at the guy. He had a mask on, a beanie to cover his face, like a ski mask to cover his face. And I remember he had the gun and he put it to my head and he asked me where our cell phone was. And I couldn't think of anything to say, and I'll be honest, I was extremely nervous. But something that happened was I was lost. I was stuttering. I didn't know what I was going to say, so I just didn't say anything. I just felt like I should just sit there, be calm, and just keep my hands up like I was innocent. I wasn't going to try anything. And he just started asking me, where's the cell phone? He just kept repeating, where's your cell phone? And I didn't answer him. I just sat there. And so I remember he started searching through my pant pockets, and then he even used his gun to search inside my suit coat to look for the phone that I did have but didn't say anything about it. And then the next thing I know, he just stops searching me and turns and goes to the next aisle behind us, the next row. And that was extremely intimidating, having a gun to my head. But the entire time, for whatever reason, I felt calm. I felt like I didn't need to say anything. I didn't need to be afraid, and I felt in that moment I was protected. And then later, the guys ended up stealing. They robbed everyone on the bus, took everything that they had, from cell phones to cash to purses. They took our carry-on bags that we had with us, and they went to the front of the bus and they looked out across all the passengers, raised their guns and pointed them at us and told us to put our hands above our heads, and told the bus driver that if he didn't stop the bus, they were going to shoot everyone. And I remember that was an experience I'll never forget. I can still remember the exact words he used in Spanish. And like I said, I remained calm. Like, I didn't have a single worry. I knew that everything was going to work out. I kept looking down at my missionary plaque and seeing how, as representatives of Jesus Christ, we were going to be prepared. We were going to be safe, and there was going to be a way prepared for us to get out of this situation. And eventually the situation, it turned out fine. The bus stopped, the robbers ran off, and even though they got away with all of our stuff, as missionaries, we felt completely fine. We weren't scared about what was going to happen next. We knew that we were protected. And as we started looking around in the bus, it was crazy to see the people that were screaming hysterically. They didn't know what had just happened. They were crying frantically. I remember a husband had to comfort his wife, who was completely an emotional wreck. She didn't know what was going on. She couldn't control herself. She was sobbing emotionally. The people behind us in the bus were running up and down the aisles looking for things they had lost, doing everything they could to try and track the robbers or see what was going on. And that really hit me as a missionary, that really we were there as representatives of Christ to comfort these people. And that's how it is a lot of times, I feel like, in life. A lot of times, most of the people, when hard times come, they don't understand why, they don't understand what to do, they have nothing to cling on to, and a lot of times it just leaves them in confusion. But something that I learned from that experience was, as missionaries, we know the plan of our Heavenly Father. We know that rough times are going to come. We're going to face trials, challenges, difficulties, but we know that we have the gospel to hang on to in our lives, and we know that if we do the things that are right, we'll be protected in any moment. Like it says in Doctrine and Covenants, if we're prepared, we have no need to fear. And that was one of the greatest feelings as a missionary, that I knew that I was doing the right thing and that I would be protected in any moment. I remember after the robbers left, we offered a prayer with the passengers on the bus, asking God to comfort us, and specifically a prayer of protection on each of the people that were on the bus so that they could feel better and know that everything would turn out. And that was a great testimony builder for me during the event, and even after, as our mission president came. He came to the rescue, we like to say. He picked us up in his car and took us to a place where we could stay for the night. And I just remember giving my mission president a big hug after that, and just seeing the look of worry in his eyes, but also of happiness, knowing that he knew that we were doing the right thing as missionaries. We were going to be protected no matter what. And that's another thing that I can testify in the mission. The mission president and his wife are like parents, and I could definitely feel their love in that situation when I was thousands of miles from home. I had just been in an incident that I'd never come in contact before ever in my life. Don't think I'd really ever encountered a gun that close, especially that close to my head before. But I can truly testify of the love of my mission president and his wife, and how grateful I felt for them and how comforted I was throughout that entire experience.